Greetings, Pokey fans! Michael here, and because apparently some of you actually respect me despite the fact that my voice regularly gets comically high-pitched, I am often asked what my opinions on Pokemon are, whether it's my favorite Pokemon, my favorite Kanto shiny Pokemon, or what are my top 5 favorite Pokemon from every single region. Yes, I have been specifically asked that multiple times. So I figured, why not answer that question in video form? So when people ask me that question on my Twitch streams, which I do almost every day, by the way, so you should totally follow me, it's fun, I could be like, hey, go watch my video. By the way, before we dive into this video real quick, just want to give a quick shout out to my lovely sponsor, Elgato Gaming. There is no better way to capture your console gameplay footage, so if you want to pick some of their stuff up, links in the description. So let's get started. The first region is Kanto, and my number 5 favorite Kanto Pokemon is Gyarados. It's a dope sea serpent that's always been the epitome of terrifying badassness. Of course I like it. Number 4 is Scizor. It's a bug that looks like a lizard, and I love lizards, and it has blades for hands. That is extremely cool. Number 3 is Charizard. Charizard is of course a classic. It's a dope fire, not dragon, and I enjoy using Mega Charizard X back in Gen 6. Blue flames are very cool. Number 2 is Squirtle. It was my favorite Pokemon before I ever played my first game, Ruby, since it's just so stinking cute. Plus, I've grown attached to the Pokemon Talk Squirtle. Sorry, Bulbasaur. Please forgive. And my number 1 Kanto Pokemon is Tauros. I've always liked Tauros, but using my shiny one named Bulrush in my Let's Go Pikachu to speed around and do basically every battle for the last 3 months has gotten me really attached to this manly bull. Now, for my top 5 favorite Johto Pokemon. And number 5 is Typhlosion. It's the best Johto starter and actually the only one I have ever used, and it's just so freaking cool. Its 3D model kind of sucks though, so just don't look at that. Look at the sprites. Number 4 is Scizor. Who doesn't like this badass bright red robot bug? It's like freaking Iron Man, spinning around, slicing stuff up. It is just so incredibly awesome. Number 3 is Pichu. It's so cute. Number 2 is Umbreon. It's my favorite evolution, and it's just such a good-looking Pokemon with cool glowing rings and an amazing shiny. Also, the Pokemon Talk Umbreon is a heck of a lot of fun.
Sylveon, I know Jolteon and Umbreon can be a little crazy sometimes.
Oh, the floor tentacles are drowning me.
Okay, maybe more than a little bit.
And my number 1 Johto Pokemon is Crobat. I've always liked Crobat. It's a really cool, intense bat that's a spectacular improvement on Zubat and Golbat. I've used one in playthroughs many times because it's just so awesome. Now for Hoenn, the first Pokemon region that I ever played through, and therefore I have quite an affinity toward and end up really liking a lot of Gen 3 Pokemon. Number 5 is Blaziken. Blaziken would be my favorite Pokemon of all time if I had picked Torchic instead of Trico when I was 9. It's designed for kicking ass, and I absolutely love it. Also, it has a great voice in the anime. It sounds like Blaziken. I admittedly probably wouldn't like it as much if it sounded like Blaziken. Number 4 is Metagross. I've always thought Metagross was extremely cool. I mean, just look at it. It's a dope angry robot with an X on its face. How badass can you get? But it also's got a strong nostalgia factor, since I used one named Optimus on my team to defeat the Pokemon World Tournament in Black 2. One of my proudest Pokemon achievements. Also, its shiny is amazing. Number 3 is Castform. It is hands down the cutest Pokemon in existence. It gets so much crap that it does not deserve, and if you dare insult Castform in my presence, I will be very upset with you. I would die for this Pokemon. How dare you? Number 2 is Breloom. It's always been a really likable Pokemon that I personally have kicked butt with, whether on my Emerald team and in some Battle Frontier battles, or in Pokemon XD, or anywhere else. It's got cool stretchy arms, and it's like, pow pow, you suck, and that's awesome. And my number 1 Hoenn Pokemon is Sceptile. It is my favorite Pokemon of all time, my very first starter, and a big reason why I love lizards as much as I do. If you've been watching my videos for any amount of time, you saw this coming. Now on to the Sinnoh region. Number 5 is Giratina. Giratina has really grown on me in recent years. I love its backstory, and I love both the altered and the origin form. Both look really cool. It also has a fantastic shiny, and it was a heck of a lot of fun to use in the Metronome Nuzlocke that I did with Pokemon last year.
Giratina! What? Yes! Let's go, John! Oh, I get a Giratina on the team!
It was so overpowered. It only died when it killed itself. It was amazing. Number 4 is Torterra, my first Sinnoh starter and my favorite of the 3. It's such a cool premise for a Pokemon that reminds me of the lion turtle from Avatar. It deserves your respect. The dude learns Earthquake at level 32 and then can immediately just OHKO and Infernape. That is amazing. Number 3 is Gallade. It's a Pokemon I liked as soon as it was revealed because it's a cool, manly Gardevoir that has elbow swords. What's not to like? Number 2 is Luxray. I've used a Luxray in almost every Sinnoh playthrough that I have ever done. It is strong, badass, and my favorite color scheme. It is an awesome Pokemon that a lot of people think is awesome because it's awesome. And number 1 is Gliscor. Gliscor's shiny is tied with a couple others for my favorite shiny of all of them, and it's just got this cool night creature prankster attitude. It's so badass, and pretty strong too. Just an overall fantastic Pokemon. Now on to the Gen 5 Pokemon, the Pokemon from Unova. This is a region that a lot of people have said the Gen 5 Pokemon suck. But I personally believe it's just a volatile region. It's got some really bad Pokemon, but it's got some amazing Pokemon too. 3 of my top 10 favorite Pokemon are Unova Pokemon. That's a sizable percentage. Number 5 is Golurk. It's a dope ancient robot. And I want to pilot one against a kaiju. Also, have you seen how it looks in the Detective Pikachu trailers? That is amazing. Number 4 is Archeops. It's my favorite fossil Pokemon, and I wrecked with it in my first Unova playthrough back in Pokemon White version, when it stayed healthy. Because Defeatus kind of sucks. But on the bright side, he's so fast that he stayed healthy most of the time. Number 3 is Haxorus, another lizard-like Pokemon that I destroyed the Pokemon World Tournament with. It's so gnarly and fearsome and just always a Pokemon I've really respected. Number 2 is Gigalith. It is just so freaking cool. I don't know how exactly to describe it, but it's just this walking, spiky mountain beast and just looks amazing. Also, earlier when I said that Gliscor was tied with a couple other Pokemon for my favorite shiny of all Pokemon, it was tied with Gigalith. And Minior as well. And number 1 is Zebstrika. Zebras are my favorite animals. Electric is my favorite type. When you combine the two of them together to make an electric zebra with lightning bolt stripes, that's one of the coolest things that has ever existed. Now for Kalos. This list was kind of tougher because there's not that many Kalos Pokemon, but I think I got a solid one. Number 5 is Aegislash, or Aegislash. Apparently Aegislash is correct. I called it Aegislash for years, and it's tough retraining yourself, you know? It is so much fun to use this thing in battle. Shout out to my old pal Aegislash, who helped me get to the top 25 at my first and only ever VGC tournament out of over 250 people. Number 4 is Heliolisk. As I mentioned earlier, I love lizards, and my favorite type is the electric type. Similar situation as Zebstrika. You combine my favorite type with one of my favorite animals, I'm probably gonna like it. Number 3 is Greninja. It's the best Kalos starter by a mile, it has a great shiny, and it's really fun to use in Smash. Number 2 is Hawlucha. I love the fighting flying combo, and it's just so fun to use this guy. He was a great team member on my Ultra Sun team. And number 1 is Talonflame. Remember what I said about Aegislash? Well, the same goes for Talonflame. Gale Wings in Gen 6 was amazing. Also, it's a fire hawk. That is so cool. And finally, the Alola region. Well, okay, Galar's coming soon, but obviously we only know the starters there, so that's not gonna be in this video. Number 5 is Toxapex. It's kind of weird, but it's a good weird. Those spikes everywhere are just really gnarly. I also really liked using one on my Ultra Sun team, and it's got a really vibrant shiny, which I like. Number 4 is a Lowland Ninetails. This counts as an Alola Pokemon, right? Yeah, we're gonna say that it counts. Anyways, it is a beautiful Pokemon and by far the best Alola form. I like it a lot more than regular Ninetales. Number 3 is Rowlet. It is so freaking cute. It must be protected. He is the greatest little ball of owl ever to exist. Also, it's a meme, which is always nice. Number 2 is Marsh Shadow. This is the best mythical Pokemon, hands down, no contest. It is cute and fearsome, and attacking from the shadows is so cool. I just wish it had got more development and lore because it really deserved it. And the last Pokemon for this video, my #1 favorite Alola Pokemon is Vikavolt. This is the Pokemon that almost kicked out Sceptile to be my favorite Pokemon of all time. It is extremely freaking awesome, and oh my god, my Vikavolt Havoc in Sun and my Totem Vikavolt Ion in Ultra Sun were so incredibly clutch. So there we have it. That concludes my top 5 favorite Pokemon from every single region. Let me know in the comments below how much you agree, and if you enjoyed this video and want to see some more of my Pokemon content, I recommend this video right here. All right, that's all I have for now. So until next time, big fans, gotta catch them all.